Welcome to the Magic Hours. I decided to do something a little different today. Instead of just a standard little reading, I decided to come outside, sit on the porch. It's going to rain here in a minute, but I thought that I would share a little story about myself as I did the reading. So the first card that I pulled, and it's funny because this card definitely, the first card has to do with the story I'm going to tell. I think what I'll do is I will pull a card, and I already pulled one, and whatever card comes, I'll tell a personal story. All right. So the first card is abundance planning. So this is the story about the thumbnail. So this is about abundance planning, right? And it's interesting that it's the number one. So when I think about this and I think about my story, this makes me think about lack and the times in my life where I thought that magic could help me with my issues of lack. That's why it's so important to work on yourself before you get on a magical journey. So, first of all, I am Zoe Flowers. I am an intuitive reader. I am also obviously a tarot reader. I have been reading for people formally, I would say, for 5 years. I have been channeling probably since I was 11. So I've been doing this work for a long, long time. I've been doing spiritual work, again, for a long time, at least 30 years. I've been dabbling in spiritual work. And I'll talk about that in another video. So, even though I've been at it all this time because of different issues growing up and just issues being a woman of color in society, lots of different things came up. And so I had lots of issues around self-confidence and self-esteem and all of that. Okay? So, when I started getting into magic, I thought it would be a good idea to do a love spell. Now, if I was focused on my abundance and knowing that I am the one that I am looking for, I am the only one, I wouldn't have thought that I needed to do all the love spells that I did. Well, not only did I do a love spell, and I would say 3 days later, I met my ex, right? I'm not going to tell you what the spell is. Maybe I'll do it on another video one day. But I did a love spell. And 3 days later, I met a man. And when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's my man. Like, that's my guy. So, here's the thing. When you do a love spell, if you choose to do that, you want to make sure that, number one, you're doing things for the right reasons, that you've got your head on straight, because, honey, let me tell you something. He was and is a handful. What I will tell you, one of the parts that I did in the spell is that I saw myself going up in the ethers and bringing this man down to earth and all this stuff. And literally 3 days later, I met him. And so we immediately started dating. Like the minute we connected, bing, bang, boom, that's it. It was on, it was popping for months. And we'll call him D'Artagnan. So D'Artagnan and I were kicking it for months and months and months and months. And then things started to go awry, as they do when you call in something and you don't know what you're calling in. So D'Artagnan started to stray. Now, I had forgot that I did the love spell. Like, I totally forgot. And then one day it was like, oh, I think I did a love spell. Maybe this is the guy. So because I did the love spell and he came, I thought, well, surely he must be the one. So when he started acting up, I was like, let me do another spell to keep him from straying. Who does that? Where they do that at? And let me tell you something. That spell worked. And I could not get rid of that connection. And then months later, I remembered that I had done a spell to keep him. I say all that to say, don't do that. Because then I had to do another spell to break the connection. Do your abundance planning. Realize that you are the one. No job, no man, no woman, no gender non-conforming person is going to fill up whatever it is you feel like you're lacking. Magic, all these things, they are just tools, okay? They are tools to assist us, right? So obviously everybody has free will. If you want to do the spell, you're going to go ahead and do it. But I'm just telling you, my experience, that person was quite challenging and it was quite difficult to break the connection. Like I had to do a whole thing. I had to get this black crystal. I had to wrap it up and put it in my underwear while I was having my cycle. I had to carry it there for 7 days. Then I took it and had to bury it in the. It was a lot. It was a lot. So if you do, and again, so this was a while ago, right? So for you new witches out there, and maybe even some of you old witches, be careful.